This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Portland announcing all the locations for its Safe Rest Villages. And the city commissioner in charge pledges to open all 6 this year.
Also this hour, a frustrating beginning to a fresh start. A couple moving here to Portland had their U-Haul stolen in Troutdale with less than 20 miles to go before they reached their new home. Plus,
it's actually harder to make drinks without alcohol, because you're not relying on any flavor profile that people are already familiar with.
But it's so delicious. Portland is one of the first West Coast cities to open a cocktail bar that doesn't serve a drop of alcohol. It's called Sucker Punch. And if you don't think something like this could last, wait till you hear how many people are looking to score a reservation. I love the layered drink, all the colors. Yeah. They're so delicious, yeah. Yeah, can't wait to see that story. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Rod, Nina's got the cocktails. We're ready for the weekend.
I mean, just a drop of rum wouldn't hurt. I'm just saying.
I think it's the point, Rod. The point is there is no rum.
Okay. All right. We have clear skies out there. Great visibility. Oh my goodness, I'm seeing this 5 o'clock temperature for the first time, as you are. 24, so that is now the coldest temperature out of PDX that we've had during this entire stretch of cold weather, and it's the coldest temperature by a degree that we have seen so far this winter season as well. So we had the clear skies last night. We had the light winds. That's why temperatures are really falling off. There's Hillsborough at 20. We are just now starting to see, as you look at other numbers, Salem, good morning, 24. We're just starting to see the east winds come back to life out of the gorge. Those winds will be picking up. This will be a beautiful clear sky day, though, and we think we have a big warm up. Could it be 40 at noon? Could it be 49 when the kids get out of school today? I'm asking. That's your forecast.
All right. Thank you, Rod.
Putin chose this war, and now he and his country will bear the consequences.
As the situation in Ukraine intensifies, President Biden imposes harsh new sanctions against Russia, including cutting off the country's largest banks and companies from Western financial markets and restricting exports. Russia's attack on Ukraine this week is the largest European invasion we've seen since World War II.
Ukraine's president says at least 130 people have been killed, hundreds more injured, and that number is only expected, unfortunately, to grow higher. The U.S. estimates Russia has already fired more than 160 missiles into Ukraine, largely hitting military targets across the country. The U.S. is deploying 7,000 more troops to Germany to support NATO allies, but the president stressed U.S. forces will not go directly into Ukraine.
So last night, people here in Portland came together to show their support for Ukraine with a rally, that is, along the waterfront. We're going to take a look at it right here. So this is what it looked like downtown near the Salmon Street Springs Fountain. We saw people with flags there, banners, signs, all in response to what's happening in Ukraine. The people we talked to last night said they not only want to bring awareness to the situation, but they also want to see supplies and support sent to Ukraine.
Right now, it seems that Ukraine is fighting alone. And the message is, if you don't stop Putin now in Ukraine, the Baltics, Poland, other Eastern European countries will be next.
There are local groups who are trying to send medical supplies to Ukraine, but they say they're worried that those supplies might be stuck in Portland for days or even weeks because of airport closures and supply chain disruptions. So they said they're trying to figure out exactly what they want to do next. We will continue to follow all the developments out of Ukraine this morning, and we'll have more for you coming up in our next half hour. Of course, you can also find the latest updates on our website, kgw.com.
Hey, there's some progress in Portland's push to open 6 tiny house or safe rest villages for people who are homeless. The final 6 sites have been chosen. The last 4, the ones that you see there on the map with green pins, were just announced yesterday. They're scattered all across the city in North Portland, downtown, and in Southeast. Yeah, that's in addition to the 2 already announced last year. Here's Maggie Vespa with the latest.
Today, we're here to announce an emergency declaration that Mayor Wheeler has signed to help us keep moving forward on building of the Safe Rest Villages.
Portland's housing commissioner is sick of bureaucracy slowing him down. In a press conference Thursday, Dan Ryan made two announcements. One, the city has chosen its final 6 sites for Safe Rest Villages, including those 4 new ones in green. We'll get to that in a moment. Announcement number 2, half those sites are owned by various city bureaus, and infighting between those bureaus has been slowing the project down. Enter, Ryan said, a solution, an emergency declaration giving control of those sites to Mayor Ted Wheeler, who will then turn over that control to Commissioner Ryan. Ryan acknowledging this is frustrating to people at home who just want the city to get this done.
They just can't believe what they're seeing, and they want government to behave and expedite and partner like never before. And I think what you're witnessing today is a big step in that direction.
Amid a mounting housing crisis, Commissioner Ryan called this a big win. He vowed to open all 6 Safe Rest Villages, tiny house villages with services attached, this year, spring at the earliest. Without further ado, the locations. Among those 4 new sites in green, 1 in North Portland near Peninsula Crossing, 1 in Northeast at Sunderland and 33rd. There's 1 downtown along Northwest Nadeau, just north of the Broadway Bridge. Then finally, this one in Southeast. That's in addition to the 2 chosen last year in red. The Menlo Park and Ride in Southeast Portland and the Sears Army Reserve Center on Southwest Multnomah Boulevard. Neighbors around these new sites just started finding out about this week. News that has rattled homeowners in the past.
They're just dropping it in our laps and saying, deal with it.
At the same time, KGW's heard from countless people living on the streets who just want these tiny house villages, holding roughly 300 people total, to open as soon as possible. They say they don't understand the delay.
My big question is why? Do you know why?
Maggie Vespa, KGW News.
More to come on that, but now a couple relocating to Portland got less than a warm welcome when they arrived in town this week. Thieves stole their U-Haul moving truck with their entire life packed inside. Jennifer Beltz and her partner Jeff were staying at this Comfort Inn in Troutdale, just off I-84. And it was their last stop before completing their big move from Flagstaff, Arizona to Southeast Portland. But when they woke up yesterday morning, their U-Haul truck and attached trailer were gone. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says security camera footage from the hotel shows 2 people pull up in a silver SUV. One breaks in, hot wires it and starts it up and drives off.
They just did it like it was easy. We know Portland is full of wonderful people, but this really wasn't the way to get started.
No kidding. Well, deputies are asking for your help to find the truck and trailer and all their belongings inside. Check it out. It's a 20-foot U-Haul truck. It has that picture of a hawk on the side. Now, most all U-Hauls I've ever seen always have an Arizona license plate. This one does too. The trailer, though, does have an Indiana license plate.
Here are some of the other headlines that we're following for you on this Friday morning. Oregon lawmakers proposed a $400 million investment package to address homelessness and affordable housing. Officials hope the money will provide relief to those already living on the street and will also address the causes of homelessness. Right now, Oregon has one of the highest rates of homelessness in the entire country. Now to Washington, where the state's redistricting commission will pay more than $137,000 to settle 2 lawsuits for violating the open meeting law. Now, as the bipartisan commission raced to meet the deadline to vote on those new maps, the 4 voting commissioners met privately instead of in public to hash out the final agreements. They ended up missing the November deadline, so the state Supreme Court drew its own map. The commission's 4 members and nonpartisan chair will each pay $500 fines and undergo training to better understand the open meetings law. Washington could change its standard for drunk driving. A proposal in Olympia would lower the legal blood alcohol limit from 0.08 to 0.05. Utah is the only other state to do that, and since the change back in 2017, Utah has seen fewer drunk driving crashes and deaths. And those are some of your Friday morning headlines.
All right, let's check back in with Rod Hill. Basically, Rod, we're seeing those same freezing temperatures we saw this time yesterday, but without the moisture.
Yes, I can't tell if you're trying to paint a beautiful picture.
I'm saying I'm glad it's not snowing outside right now.
Yes, that's correct. Hey, yesterday, by the way, officially, Drew, we put a 1/2 inch of snow in the record book. That puts us just up over 4 inches for the season. Of course, most of that came back that final week of December. Okay, here is the weekend rainmaker parked offshore. Still looks like that brings some rain to the coast as early afternoon tomorrow and as early to the I-5 corridor as late afternoon, but maybe not until early to mid-evening tomorrow. That's the latest rain timetable. Right now, just beautifully clear skies. Should be an absolutely gorgeous Friday. We are starting to see east winds pick up back again out of the gorge. These are sustained wind speeds to 13 in Trato, Happy Valley 8. Eventually, East County areas could get back up to gusting to 30+ miles per hour today, and those winds will continue tomorrow. But generally, away from the gorge, we're all seeing light winds. Okay, some of the coldest temperatures because of the light winds away from the gorge that we have seen so far. It's now 17 out in Timber Junction on the Coast Range. West Lynn's at 26, Beaverton 23, downtown Portland at 24. Coldest temperature in Portland, by the way, that we've seen this week, believe it or not. 0 out in Baker City. Again, just a really cold batch of air out there. All right, we should see impressive, noticeable warming this afternoon. We'll call it sunny skies, a warming afternoon. Salem, McMinnville, Corvallis all trying to get into the upper 40s. Maybe somebody hits 50 if we just go nuts in the temperature department today. This does give Battleground and Longview 50-51 and Vancouver 49. Lows tonight near freezing to above. It's going to depend on when cloud cover starts to move in and what the winds are doing overnight coming out of the gorge. There's the late day evening rain on Saturday, the showers on Sunday 52. Monday noon through Tuesday morning could be a washout. Steady rain. Some models go as high as 1.5 inches for Portland just over that time period with some high winds at the coast. Back to you.
Woo, that's a lot of rain. All right, Rod, thank you so much. We'll check in with you soon. Well, a lot of people started drinking more during the pandemic, but some quit entirely. Sobriety is a hard road, but a new bar owner who is sober himself is opening a space just for them. Portland's first zero proof, that's no alcohol, cocktail bar just opened. We're going to take you inside.